I was broke and I needed money right now. People told me still at that point that I was doing the wrong thing. I was focusing on the wrong stuff. I turned this $900 a month rental into $3 million in sales volume in 2 years. That was a nightmare. You were the only agent that answered. And I'm letting you know right now that I'll never do that again for any of my kids. I'm just gonna buy them each a condo. I think that's better. Every new realtor ignores rentals, but it's likely costing them hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, agents think that rentals are beneath them. I understand that, but they're actually the fastest way to income now and building a buyer pipeline that pays you for a decade. Now, the problem was never rentals. It's the systems you're using to handle the rentals. Now, I understand why realtors think this. When I started my real estate career and I did 181 rentals my first year and made hundreds of thousands of dollars, people told me still at that point that I was doing the wrong thing. I was focusing on the wrong stuff. But the funny thing was I was making more money than the people telling me that I was focusing on the wrong stuff and that I should be focusing strictly on buyers and sellers. Now, I had one specific situation that changed my entire mentality on rentals. It came from a $900 basement rental, okay? I was driving around in my brand new Range Rover, okay? Get this. Every single person I talked to was like, you have to stop doing rentals. You have to stop, okay? They're a waste of your time. Now, this $900 basement rental was a female who was going to school in Toronto, okay? The crazy thing is I turned this $900 a month rental into $3 million in sales volume in 2 years. And I'll explain exactly what I mean by that. Her father was very high up at a very big bank here in Canada, and he actually had multiple kids, 3 to be exact. He called me and said, "Thank you so much for helping my daughter. That was a nightmare. You were the only agent that answered. And I'm letting you know right now that I'll never do that again for any of my kids. I'm just gonna buy them each a condo. I think that's better." Now, in the next 2 years, each of those kids bought one condo. Then the following year, they all sold because it was at the peak of the market and bought another condo, which translated to $3 million in sales volume for me, all from a $900 a month condo. So in this video, I want to teach you how to earn at least $6,000 in the next 60 days, okay? And most importantly, build a buyer pipeline. Now, I want you to leave with a few things. Number one, I want you to leave knowing the rental system that pays you now, but compounds for years, okay? So number one, why rentals are the best lead generation source and lead generation machine out there. Number two, the compounding math when it comes to building a rental database. And number three, the system that makes all of this easy, because I understand what you're thinking right now. Rentals are too much work, and they are if they're done incorrectly, okay? But think rental to database to buyer. That's the engine here that I'm gonna teach you how to do. Now, my first year in real estate, I did 181 rentals. My first month, I did 27 deals, right? And again, I was earning double what the agents mocking me were earning. And in my second year, I earned over $500,000 as those renters started turning into buyers. I then went on to build a real estate team of 26 agents where I taught each and every one of those people the exact same systems I'm gonna teach you in this video. Here's where most agents get it wrong. Let's cover why rentals are the most underrated lead generation machine, I think, for realtors right now. Okay, first and foremost, remember a rental isn't a $1,500 transaction, okay? It's a future $15,000 check, right? Because it's a buyer who already knows you, trusts you, likes you, right? Think like of an iceberg, right? That little small commission on top is just like the immediate gratification. It's great, you get money now because think, it's very easy. And the realtors inside of our real estate money community are doing about 3 to 7 rentals per month. That's not a little bit of money. That's $4,000 to $8,000 per month, right? But that's just the tip of the iceberg, because underneath is where you're going to earn all of your money, right? Underneath is that big sale piece where you're getting your big commission checks. Now, you can generate these leads 100% for free. What we do is we post our rentals on Facebook Marketplace. Now, there's a few things about this you need to understand, and I'm going to answer the question of people saying, well, I don't have any listings to post. That's okay. There's ways around this. Number one, it's zero ad spend. Number two, you're posting it off of your real Facebook profile so people can see that you're a real person. They have that extra trust factor there. But if you don't have any listings to post, the easiest place to start is your own office. Ask the agents at your office if you can post their rental listing on Facebook to help bring them a qualified tenant. You have to understand that most senior agents despise doing rentals, right? It's the last thing they want to do. So you're doing them a favor. The second thing you can do is ask listing agents permission to advertise your listing online, right? Now, there's a right and a wrong way to do this. When you're asking a listing agent for permission to advertise their listing on your Facebook marketplace, there's a technique behind this because you have to let that agent know that you're just trying to bring them a qualified tenant. You're not trying to steal credit as being the listing agent. All you're doing is putting their listing in front of your database because you feel like you have a database of people that this would be a great fit for to bring them a qualified tenant. So what I do when I'm choosing these listings, there's a few things. I'm always looking for the most recent properties that have hit the market because if they're new on market, it's very likely they're still available. I'm also looking for the best price properties. Again, this depends on your market, but for me in Toronto, the average price of a one-bedroom condo, let's say, is about $2,100. I'm looking for properties around that price or less. I'm not looking for the most expensive, most luxurious listing to post because the whole purpose behind posting this onto Facebook Marketplace is, of course, to rent it out, but more importantly, is to generate a ton of free leads. So I know you might be thinking, if I post the most expensive rental listing on the market, I'm going to get the most expensive people and the highest quality tenants coming and asking me if they can rent it. It's not really the case, and you're going to get a lot less leads in your inbox compared to if you actually list something that's at or lower than market value. Before you get all caught up in this, you have to understand that even very wealthy people or extremely qualified tenants don't want to overpay for properties. So even if you're posting lower than market value listings on your Facebook for rentals, that doesn't mean that that's just their maximum budget. A lot of people inquire about specific units and actually have a much bigger budget. So don't go worry about budget. Remember, I'm just trying to generate as many leads as possible and of course, rent out that property. But here's where everybody seems to go wrong. Every single lead that I speak to on Facebook Marketplace, I need to get them off of Facebook Marketplace immediately and into my CRM. Okay, even if all they've given me was their name, number, email, that's okay. If they don't answer beyond that, I don't care. I'm putting them into my CRM. I want to have every conversation possible off of Facebook Messenger and in my CRM, whether it's email and phone number. Remember, I'm just trying to get leads here, okay? Now, the important part, once I get that person from Facebook Marketplace into my CRM, I am immediately putting them on my new renter action plan. And the new renter email action plan is built to get attention, right? Because all I want to do is get their information, put them in my CRM, put them on the new tenant action plan, get their attention. Once I have their attention by a phone call to build rapport, a text, whatever, okay? Then I've established where they're at as a tenant, and then I can put them on a long-term nurture called a renter future buyer drip campaign, which is 7 years long to make sure that they never fall through the cracks, but I'll touch on this in a second. Now, back to once you add them to your database, my advice is to quickly jump on a call with these people to build rapport, right? Because from what I see, especially in the Toronto real estate market, most people are unaware or extremely uneducated on the rental process, as they should be. They don't understand that you can help them with everything. They don't understand that it's free to use you. They don't understand why you're involved in this transaction. So it's our job to build enough rapport and explain the process to them so that we capture them as a client. Right now, some people here at this point ask for full documents up front, and this is where I might get some controversy, but I personally don't ask for their full documents up front because at this point, to that specific person, I'm just an internet stranger on Facebook. And I don't know about you, but if I put my mind as a consumer, I don't know if I would feel comfortable giving a random person on Facebook my credit report, which shows where I work and where I live. To me, that's adding way too much friction and I'm gonna lose the person right there. All I'm doing on my first initial phone call with these people is to try my best to qualify them. And I ask them qualifying questions. Where do you work? How much do you make? How long have you been there? All the things you would find out through getting the documents, right? I do that verbally and over the phone because it's a real person now. They're talking to a real human. But I genuinely think that by asking someone to send you documents before you even meet them in person is just adding so much friction, and rentals genuinely are a numbers game. Now, if you're unsure of exactly what to say to be able to pre-qualify these people and get them around this hurdle, we actually have a full scripting module inside of our Real Estate Money community. What I can do is I'll put the link in the description. All you have to do is book a call and I can walk you through it. Okay, so now we understand that Rentals can be the best lead generation source possible because it's 100% for free. We've understood how to then capture this person, put them in our CRM, put them on a drip campaign, jump on a call, build rapport, and understand how to pre-qualify them over the phone. Now we're going to be talking about the compound effect, and I want to show you the math that nobody runs and why rental agents out-earn buyer's agents. And the math makes this undeniable, okay? So I want to show you something, and I'm going to walk you through this. Now, these are conservative numbers, in my opinion. Remember, the agents inside of Real Estate Money right now are earning over $6,000 per month, but we have a program where we teach you how to earn $6,000 in less than 60 days, or we fully give you every dollar back that you've given us because we're so confident that you will 100% get those results if you follow step by step our systems and processes. Now, the traditional agent over 3 years, let's say, makes around $150,000 to $195,000 a year. That seems to be, from polling agents, the number that most get stuck at if they skip the stage of working with rentals. Now, the Real Estate Money rental agents that are inside of our community are earning over $500,000 accumulated over 3 years, right? So it's the same 3 years, it's just 3 times the income. And I'll explain what I mean by that. The traditional agent also starts at zero every January 1st, right? We all know the feeling. January 1st comes around, you did 80K last year, you're feeling really good. But if I asked you, how did you get to 80K? What exactly did you do, right? What do you have ready to go for your next year? It's unlikely you have those answers, and every January 1st, you're just starting from scratch. Do that over 3 to 5 years, it gets extremely exhausting, and that's how agents get burnt out, right? But the rental agent has a database, right? Which most people don't have. So let's break down year one and go through this very conservatively. Now, in year one, let's just say that you're closing between 60 and 84 rentals a year. Now, at 60 rentals a year, that's 5 rentals per month, extremely doable. The average Real Estate Money agent inside of our community is closing much more than that. But that right there is between $60,000 and $84,000 a year, assuming that you're getting around $1,000 commission for each deal. Depending on your market, obviously this would vary. Right now, let's assume that year one you close 0 buy deals, which is pretty standard. Okay, so that means your year one income would be about $60,000 to $84,000. Now, what people forget, and the most important part about this video, is that you now have 60 to 84 people in your database that know you, like you, trust you, and will work with you again if, and only if, you have the right systems in place to stay top of mind, because these people will be buyers. It's no doubt. It's just you have to make sure that you stay top of mind. And the most important thing to remember is you need to automate this process. It is almost physically impossible to think that you're going to manually stay top of mind with 60 to 84 people. Multiply that by every year, it's impossible. So you need to have these automations in place. Our Real Estate Money agents have the most incredible scripts to stay top of mind automatically through our action plans and our automated email drips. Now let's fast forward to year number 2. Year number 2, let's just say the same thing. You make 0 progress and you do the same thing again between 60 and 84 rental deals, okay? Now you have 120 to 168 people in your database that know you, like you, trust you, right? Your rental income alone from that is another 60 to 84,000. But let's just say you convert 5 to 7 people this year, right? From out of 120 to 168, let's assume that you convert 5. That's going to be about $75,000 of just buyer commission. That's me assuming your average commission at 2.5% is around $15,000. Again, this will change depending on your market. But in the market that I serve, average commission is around $15,000. If I close 5 buyers, that's $75,000. That's not taking into account that I've closed about 60 rental deals, which is another $60,000, putting my year at $135,000 income in year 2. Okay, this is like brand new, starting from scratch. These are the numbers we're seeing in our community. Now, year 3, same thing. Another 60 to 84 rentals. You've made 0 progress, right? Impossible. These are super conservative. That's another $60,000 to $84,000. And now you have 180 to 252 people inside of your database. Now, let's say we close 10 buyers this year, okay? Over the 3 years, you've accumulated all these people in your database. You're gonna close 10 in year 3, okay? That's about $150,000 plus your $60,000, very conservatively, putting you at about $210,000 in year 3, conservatively. These numbers are real. We're seeing these inside of Real Estate Money with the agents that are following our exact systems and processes, because rentals are an incredible way to generate free leads, earn income now, right? And build your database with people that know you, like you, trust you. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is why realtors quit rentals and the system that flips this to easy mode, right? Because I understand rentals can be a lot of work for a fraction of the money. I totally understand that, right? I understand you have 30 leads in your inbox. Your inbox is piling up with people that want to see properties. You have all these rental clients that maybe have good or bad documents because I just told you to not get the documents up front. You spend hours doing showings for people to only tell you that they're working with another agent, or maybe their credit is terrible, right? And you have this realization that, oh, I was doing rentals. I should have been just focusing on buyers, right? I understand, and I've fully been there, but there is a right way to handle this and there is a wrong way to handle this. The easy way to handle this is if you join our Real Estate Money program, we guarantee that you make $6,000 in 60 days. All you have to do to find out if this even works for you is click the link in our bio and jump on a call with me personally, and I can walk you through how we get these results for the agents inside of our community and to see if we can get these same results for you. To get right into it, you have to qualify fast. I know I told you that you don't have to ask for documents up front, but you have to get rid of the tire kickers in the first 60 seconds. It's all about being efficient. To be good at rentals and see these numbers, you have to be efficient. There's a difference between busy work and being efficient, and we're gonna teach you how to be efficient. So get rid of the tire kickers. If they have crappy credit, if they have a crappy job, if they seem like a complex file, don't take it on. Rentals are a numbers game, and the whole purpose of you having free leads up is to generate a bunch of leads so that you can qualify fast and only work with the best tenants possible. Another thing I do is I try to batch all my showings together. For me personally, I never take clients on showings for rentals on Mondays. The reason why is, number one, Mondays are my admin day. It's when I focus on all of my stuff. I get caught up over the weekend. I make sure that I set my week up for success. But secondly, I find that sometimes properties will get rented over the weekend. Agents don't update the MLS. I show a property and it's already rented, and it's always the one that they like the most. So it's annoying. So I do my best to try to batch my showings. Secondly, I work smarter, not harder. I only post listings in the area that I want to work in. I do it where I live, and I only post listings in a small area so that I can see more people more efficiently without having to drive all over the place. Again, I'm in Toronto. Traffic is crazy. If you're in the suburbs, you may have the ability to kind of go different directions and it'd be okay. If you're in a major metropolitan, I highly recommend keeping your circle small. That way you can see more people without all the travel time. Now, you have to understand that your CRM has to do a lot of the heavy lifting here. It has to do the follow-up. My new lead drip does nothing but get their attention. So the second a new lead comes into my database, all it's doing is trying to get their attention, because you have to think, they likely came to your Facebook marketplace. They asked you if it's still available. You said, you gave them the script, right? Yes, it's still available. What's your number and email so I can contact you and send you all information? They give your name and contact information. They've probably done this with 10 different agents. And now you put that into your CRM, right? And you send them a text and they don't answer. Maybe you send them another text and then you forget. And that's it. The average touch points to conversion is 8+. So it's impossible for me to text each individual lead 8 times. Impossible. Call them, impossible. I'm going to let my CRM do the heavy lifting. My new lead action plan, okay, is over 14 days. And there's over 14 touch points. I'm just trying to get their attention. Once I have their attention, okay, then I put them on the nurture sequence. One thing we teach inside of Real Estate Money is the pre-offer framework. I'm not gonna get into it too much in this video because it can be a little bit complex, but essentially it is a pre-approved offer before you even schedule a single showing. Now, there's a really right way and a really wrong way to do this, but we cover this inside of our Real Estate Money community. I want you to understand that there is hard mode and easy mode when it comes to rentals, and with the right systems and the right strategies, you can crush between 3 to 5 rentals a month, which is $4,000 to $6,000 per month. And I want you to understand that that's not the goal, right? That's just like the floor. That's what I want you to start at, right? Because there's a few other points as to why I really think rentals are so great. Rentals are paid reps, right? These are skills that you develop when you do rentals that you can't get sitting at an open house, right? You understand how to communicate with people effectively. You understand how to negotiate with realtors. You understand how to build rapport with other realtors. You understand the paperwork. Even though it's a little bit different, you still understand and start to develop these skills when it comes to paperwork and dealing with your clients. You start to understand your farm area. If you work in an area with a lot of condos, you start to understand the demographics of each individual condo and what's inside each condo. And all of these small little things, all of these small little skills you develop doing rentals become so beneficial when you start to work with buyers and sellers. And I'll give you a real example. I did a ton of rentals, like I talked about at the beginning of this video, in downtown Toronto, to the point where I knew every single condo building like the back of my hand. And at first I thought it was a pretty useless skill, to be honest. I knew what floor the amenities were on. I knew the concierge by first name. I knew where to park. I knew where the lock boxes were. But fast forward 3 years down the road, when I started to really work with a lot of buyers and sellers, I would walk into the lobby confident as ever, say hi to the concierge by first name with my buyers by my side, right? I know exactly where to go for the lock boxes. I could tell them exactly who lives in the building. I could tell them exactly what floors the amenities were on. I looked like the expert before I even opened the door to the condo. They already trusted me. These are paid reps that I'm getting through rentals, right? I'm getting paid to do these things. I'm getting paid to learn these skills. One thing that I touched on that is commonly overlooked is the ability to build relationships with other realtors during the rental process. Because you're doing a large volume of transactions, you get to meet a lot of realtors, and you will see the same realtors over and over again. I use this as an opportunity to build leverage in the industry because people saw my name over and over again. And not only did they see my name, they got a professional offer every single time that was flawless by me. So they think, wow, Dave has his stuff together. So when I meet that agent at the table when it's a buy and sell, they automatically think Dave knows his stuff. I'm going to favor Dave a little bit. Maybe I get a little bit extra information. Maybe they give me a little bit extra secrets that they're not telling anybody else. Right? Because I've used rentals to build relationships with other realtors in my area. So while every other realtor is waiting for the perfect buyer, you're getting paid to become a better agent, and you're stacking a database doing it. I want to show you some of the members in our community. This is Costi and Sean, who generated leads and closed deals within the first 24 hours, okay, of joining Real Estate Money. And these are in completely different markets, okay, but the exact same results. We have many other members just like this that have joined Real Estate Money, and within the first week, closing tons of deals, making money right now. But again, most importantly, they're building a database of future buyers. Now, if you're wondering which market does this work in, if you have a license and your market allows for rentals and you're allowed to transact with rentals, this works in your market, whether it's the suburbs or a downtown core, it doesn't matter, right? The agents that are winning right now, especially in this market, they're not picky, they're just systemized, and that's the whole difference. This works in a slow market, this works in a busy market, right? Buyers right now are stalling when rates are crazy, the world is crazy, but people never stop needing a place to live. This system runs on lead capture, qualifying, and follow-up, and letting your CRM do the heavy lifting. Now, I hope that this video brought you value. I'm a big believer in this because this is exactly how I started my career. Rentals to me equaled income now, which I needed when I was struggling. As a new agent, I was broke and I needed money right now. And I figured out that if I can close between 3 and 6 deals a month, $4,000 to $7,000 a month is great money. This is how I started my career. So many people told me I was doing this wrong. I was working on the wrong stuff. I was focused on the wrong stuff. But what happened is now my database makes me between $300,000 and $500,000 a year because I just continuously filled my database with people. And not only did I do that, I have all of the people inside my database being nurtured by me to some capacity, right? Sarah, for example, here, who is in our community, she earned $60,000 in 1 month. Okay. Costi's in our community. He earned $130,000 in his first quarter of being a full-time agent. His first year being full-time, earned $130,000. Now, if you're liking the videos that I'm putting out and you're getting value from this, I hope that I can shift your belief when it comes to rentals and get you earning income now so that you can reinvest that money later, okay, and smash the market and build a database that's going to pay you for decades. Now, if you're finding value in these videos, please like, subscribe, share. And if you have anything you want me to discuss for future videos, please put it in the comments. I check my comments every single day. I hope this video helped, and I'll see you in the next one.